And yes, we are back. Shout outs to us for making it back. You, me, all of us, especially the boys, especially the girls, especially the homies and the homettes. We have Diablo 4 into the end game. So let's see what's going on. Let's get into it. Personally, I think it doesn't matter what I think. Let's go. Let's just get right to it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Hold on. I gotta change the audio. Let's see if you're right or for real. Full screen. Alright, let's go. Damn! That was loud. That was stupid loud, bro.
We're really excited about getting this game into players' hands and letting them experience this massive world.
The main cornerstone of D4 is play your way. As a player continues to advance through the story and into the endgame, they'll unlock a ton of brand new activities that provide meaningful progression, no matter their playstyle.
Players.
That's what's important, right? Meaningful progression, no matter the playstyle. I think that's what should be the baseline. And from that point, we'll just see where the game goes.
To be able to keep progressing in the narrative of the game. Alongside that, the whole team has worked on crafting a variety of different experiences players can pursue.
We're going to have an entire world of Sanctuary for our players to offer. There's going to never be an absence of something to do.
After the player has finished the campaign, there's a lot more game to go and participate in. They gain access to a special, what we call capstone dungeon.
All right, and for people who obviously have not played a lot of ARPGs or not played any, that's the game. You clear the campaign, and clearing the campaign is not the end goal per se. For some people, it can be. It's okay if that is your end goal, but the game really tends to pick itself up after you've done that. It's like a very long tutorial for your playstyle and or build, and it's up to you to push it, scale it up with your knowledge and the community's knowledge and stuff like that.
And they have to complete.
And some players like doing it without their hand being held. Some like the complex route that Path of Exile has taken. But I think what's important is Diablo 4 is trying to condense the process so it's not super complicated. So someone like who plays mostly games on Xbox can play it, buy it. Hey, that was pretty fun. Let me see what the end game is, and then get right into it.
Once they're able to finish this capstone dungeon, they're going to gain access to the first world tier.
As you complete the world tier, it will open up the opportunity for you to go into your next world tier. That involves unlocking powerful loot, new items, and more advantages for your player to have a better opportunity at end game.
Whether you're a fan of dungeons, PvP, or just roaming around the world, there's a way to continue your Diablo adventure long after hitting max level.
It's the camera light on his eye.
As your character continues to grow in power, you'll start with the skill tree and expand out into the Paragon system.
A lot of the choices the players make are grounded on skills themselves and the fantasies associated with those skills. The Paragon board is a place where we're allowed to have a lot more depth, a lot more customization, many more options as you go.
Hold on.
Paragon board is a place where we're allowed
Strength,
to have a lot more
intelligence,
depth, a lot.
Cheap shot. Okay, I did catch wind of a lot of people upset that it seems very basic. +5, +5, +5, +5. And I just want to throw it out there. I don't understand why people are so willing to compare the first iteration of D4 to everything they've experienced up until this point. That is just unrealistic, man. It's just unrealistic. I think people should be willing to have an open mind, and if they are willing to actually change as we go. It's a live service game after all. They're willing to change and patch stuff every 3 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. As long as they're willing to listen, I think that's what is most important, not what you see. Because in 6 months, what you see on this screen will probably be totally different.
A lot more customization, many more options as you go.
You can rotate the board,
Hopefully.
so you can choose a different path if you're like, I want to.
That is,
more
if it's not
like,
good.
I want these particular boons or glyphs. You can chart your path through it, and they're really a way for you to keep expanding your character and making it uniquely yours.
Similar to the Paragon boards is the Codex of Power. It's an in-game system that holds the aspects related to the character. You are able to complete a dungeon and they will have a chance to drop an aspect that you can pick up.
And what this allows players to do is take items they're finding in the world and make them more powerful.
I didn't know about this. Maybe I just didn't click on the right tab. I didn't know. I thought when you got it, it was automatic. I didn't know you had to like do something with it.
We'll turn them into legendary items.
It's really special.
So you can put it into an item? What? I didn't know that.
Take items they're finding in the world and make them more powerful, turn them into legendary items.
It's really special to discover what kind of playstyle really means the most to you.
Oh, nightmare, yay.
Every part of Sanctuary is fulfilling and satisfying. Dungeons in particular are really close to my heart. Nightmare dungeons are going to give the player
I feel kind of bad that she said that. Dungeons are close to her heart, but people on Reddit, I'm not gonna say people, kind of probably split 50-50, but there are some people who hate dungeons. So I think if they can have dungeons, I thought dungeons are fine, they could just use some quality of life changes to accommodate the type of era of gaming that we are in. So I think if they're like multifunctional, like if people who like dungeons how they are can be satisfied, and there's an alternative while still, having the dungeon for other people, I think that will, making a middle ground would be really important.
here's the opportunity to
In my
experience a dungeon that they might have already experienced in their past playthroughs. They'll enter the dungeon with a found sigil that
I like her
alters the
outfit.
playstyle and the intensity of the dungeon.
They're more difficult and they have additional objectives, and then they also have affixes, which add a degree of difficulty for you and your group to work through.
And she has tattoos, respect.
One of my favorite affixes that you can find in Nightmare Dungeons is actually called Hellgate. Occasionally, these portals will open up throughout the area that will just pour out different monsters that aren't native to that region for you to also be dealing with while you're trying to.
And I think that's good. Stuff like that, anything to scale up mob density I think is really nice. Because that's what PoE players, honestly, I don't know why. I mean, it's satisfying to like have a screen full of, imagine this, but like you got this, you got some over here, you got some over here, you got some over here, you got some over here. It's satisfying to like pop 2 skills and the whole room just goes bop. Like it's fun. Honestly, it's so fun. Like it's so fun. So I think they obviously have good foundations in place. Just gotta scale it up
handle
to
everything else
people's
inside the
expectations.
There's over 120 dungeons to play through and find in Diablo 4, and
How many? What do you say? How much?
there's over 120 dungeons to play through and
Damn.
find in Diablo 4, and any one of them can become a Nightmare dungeon by finding a Nightmare sigil and then using it to activate the Nightmare version of that dungeon space.
Everything's a little darker, everything's more difficult. It's going to add a little bit of a twist of flavor on your particular dungeon.
Nice.
There's some targeted activities in Diablo 4 that suit what you're feeling in the mood for.
The Forces of Hell are starting to have more influence in certain parts of Sanctuary in the vast interconnected overworld of the experience. And as the players are going into Helltide areas, they're going to find even more powerful monsters. And by killing them, they'll be able to gain these special shards they can take to go and use to purchase these big rewards that are available at these caches that are found littered throughout Helltide areas.
The sky darkens and the rivers run red, meteors fall from the sky.
Good. Like this looks so fun. All they need to do, like I said, the foundation is obviously there. I can't stress this enough. The foundation is obviously there. No one can argue that the game didn't feel fun to play, whatever. If redundancy is the only thing people have criticism for, in my opinion, that's a good thing because that can be fixed in time. But if everything else, all the other systems are nice and fleshed out, baby, we chilling. It's a good thing. We got something good
And
here.
monsters get harder. We really want to create new experiences for the players. There's one I really like called Whispers of the Dead, which you get from the Tree of Whispers. The Tree of Whispers is grim and a little gruesome, but it's also something mystically haunting and kind of beautiful.
The tree has a little bit of a grudge against our players and it would like for them to go serve its needs. So you're going to go serve these bounties, gather different rewards, different items, and bring them back to the tree in hopes that it can exchange you something really meaningful.
Maybe you're going to go to the Fractured Peaks and
Collection
take
of
out some
gauntlets.
werewolves that are rampaging in a town. They're contained activities that you can do alone or in a group. We really wanted to create variety for people to be able to spend time where they wanted to in the world. It's
That's
very
what's
cool
important,
the way it's
variety.
been put together, and I can't wait for people to see it, to be honest.
In Diablo 4, we have a focus on the world of Sanctuary. And there are parts of that world that we call the Fields of Hatred, where Lilith's presence in Sanctuary has begun to seep through and manifest these poisonous areas throughout the world. When players go to these regions, they get to engage in player versus player conflict.
These offer opportunities for the player to collect shards. But there is a little bit of a catch. In order to get these shards back to town, you will need to purify them. Other players will definitely know that you're attempting to purify your shards, so you'd better be prepared to fight if you're
And I imagine, like, I don't care too much about PvP, but long as there's variety and it satisfies some people, it unfortunately probably will give people more things to complain about, but it's there. I think that's what's important, variety from top to bottom.
going to be playing any PvP, and be prepared that you might lose some stuff in the meantime.
Once they've got the purified shards, they can take these, go back to nearby towns to sell them, and then use that to buy a whole bunch of like interesting cosmetic items and rewards.
Oh,
It's
cosmetics
a
up.
place for people who really love PvP and want to still get loot and still increase their character's power. If that's the way they want to play, they can.
Launch is just the beginning. One of the things we're really focused on is creating a living, breathing set of updates for players to engage with after the game has gone live.
It's really just going to be a way to keep coming back and experiencing more Diablo 4 in fresh ways.
We're really eager to hear all of your experiences and just enjoy the entire story with you all.
That looks so cool. Dang. $6.23. I overall, I'm happy they did this. If this is what needs to be done to help them get more quote unquote feedback. You remember how I said they can do all this and start to internalize the problems that need to be solved closer down the line, so they can have the solution ready if it just blows up for some reason. Let's read some of the comments, because I'm not one for like, oh, this trailer was trash, or this trailer was amazing, this trailer gave me goosebumps. I'm just gonna play the game. If the game is good, I'll say why it's good. If it's not, we'll go from there. The Druid Paragon board should have 17 plus damage. Yes, shoutouts to 17 Hurricane, our Lord and Savior. This meme is... What did I tell you guys? This meme is literally going to get Druid buffed to just... And it's probably never going to die. The Shred Purifying thing feels a lot like Dark Zone and Division. The Shard Purifying thing feels a lot like Dark Zone and Division. Division is that like online game, right? The open world little shooter game. Didn't play the Division, so I don't know too much. Everyone mentioning how Paragons are boring with +5 stats. They miss one important thing. You can actually rotate the Paragon board and get +5 stats from other angles. Well, I feel like +5 stats or whatever. It's the others. It's the stuff leading to the not leading. It's the stuff. Well, it can be leading, but it's the stuff at the end of the +5 that I believe matters. Because what if it's like +5, +5, +5, +5, +5? Okay, all your decks that you just got is now turned to intelligence. Kind of cool. That is super simple, but that's just what I mean. Then you can turn and get other stuff that quantifies strength, and you know what I'm saying? Could happen. They turned the bounty board into a tree, hoping we wouldn't notice. I don't know what the bounty board is. I think that's probably something from Diablo Immortal or something. The end game will be like getting 85 keys for the dungeon door to open. Well, we'll see. Wait, was this the in-game elaboration video that was promised a while back? I thought we would get more. I thought we would get much more info than this. Be honest. You guys just want to see. You guys just want to see loot. They just want to see stuff in game. That's all it is. Just impatient. The best part of this video is when the Druid walked in and got one shot. That's unlucky, bro. Yeah, like there's no winning in a video like this, but I think long as they are aware, they can put out any fires before they just get out of control. And yeah, so that's the video. Overall, like I'm kind of indifferent on it all. I just want to play the game. But if you have a different opinion, hey, let me know. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. You know the motto. Tell someone you appreciate them because I appreciate you guys watching. Tell someone you love them if you can. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.